A new vlog and a new magic show. Okay, magic show from 40 years ago. This is an amazing magic show, one of the best of all time. This is Copperfield, Vanishing Lear Jet. Okay, this is a great magic show from 40 years ago, 1981. So let's vlog this magic show from 40 years ago. This is a really classic actually. Copperfield vanishes an aeroplane. Okay, amazing trick, seriously. Let's vlog and blog this. Sit back relax for 5 minutes or so. We vlog and blog this amazing magic show from 1981. Here we're gonna go. I'm watching the video on TV One actually. Very good magic show indeed. This is about a great magic show, of course. 1981. It's not 40 years ago. 40 years ago. So Copperfield was 24 years old. 24 years old. Seriously, okay. And the actor Jason Robards introduced the show. Remember Jason Robards from the films 1960s, 70s? A great American actor. Jason Robards comes on, introduces David Copperfield, who was a great magician, 24 years old. Okay, to do an amazing magic show. It was actually quite groundbreaking. This magic show was so popular. In 1981-82, it's sold all over the world. It's shown in thousands of countries around the world, seriously. It was seen apparently by about 2 billion people saw the show, seriously. Can you believe that? 2 billion people saw the show. Basically, back in the day, when in the UK we had 3 TV channels, and the USA had about 50 TV channels, so there was an awful lot less TV around 1981, wasn't there? There's today, in 2021, 40 years later. But this magic show was a big magic show. It's quite groundbreaking. Let's talk a bit about the show itself, because the show actually was really based on the Vanishing Airplane, okay? Vanishing Lear Jet, okay? Which Copperfield vanished on television, okay? With the real audience there apparently, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Before we get to the Vanishing Airplane itself, okay, we'll just have a look. Before Copperfield had been a bit of a star on the telly, he'd been the Magic of ABC, he'd been in New York and Broadway in New York City. He'd also done a big magic show where he'd kind of vanished and had a Ferrari kind of car, that kind of stuff. So this was his foray into doing some new big magic that hadn't done before really, which was of course to vanish. Biggest object at the time, which was Vanishing Airplane, okay? So before we get to Vanishing Airplane itself and the secret of it, if we can find the secret of it, we'll talk about the magic show itself, which is a classic magic show. I'm watching it, I'll tell you right now. As I'm always doing, okay? The show actually begins with an airplane, Lear Jet, okay? Quite a small plane actually, flying through the clouds, okay? An amazing fly through the clouds. And then we see Copperfield sat in the cockpit of the airplane, okay? With his big brown eyes, okay? Big brown eyes he's got. And he's holding up a little badges of the airplane, and he makes the badge disappear in his hand like that. Amazing, seriously, because disappears. Very beautiful bit of magic, seriously. And then after that, we cut to the stage, and the stage, I think it was filmed in Hollywood actually, California. The stage is some sassy girls, sexy girls dancing around, kicking the heels up, okay? Kicking legs in the air. Beautiful kind of sassy dance routine, and they put up a couple of big kind of picture frames up above the stage, okay, and put in the picture frames, put canvases, okay, of Copperfield. Then the picture frames canvases cross over like that, and behind them suddenly appears out of nowhere. Copperfield appears from nowhere, okay, quite amazing appearance from stage from nowhere, okay, very effective indeed. So check it out when I show it to you in a minute. But it's really good indeed, and also I don't know how it works actually, even now 40 years later, it's a good trick, seriously. And it's Copperfield actually does appear on a podium in the middle of the stage, okay. I think it's the more mirrorless, but it's pretty effective, seriously. Quite a sassy show. It's actually quite a sassy, sexy show actually, isn't it? This show actually, seriously, I must say. He didn't actually go down the route later, did he? He was a bit different, but this is quite a sassy show. Produced by an American producer called Joe Cates, who was quite into American kind of high production standards back in the 80s. And obviously, in the early 80s, of course, Copperfield was very young. He was only 24, 25. So, I mean, seriously, 24 years old doing this. Amazing, isn't it? Seriously. Can you imagine it? Anyway, after that, we're going to cut to another trick. I'll cut to the next trick. The next trick actually is quite amazing baffling. I'll flick through to it on the TV set. This is a trick where he cut a girl into about 6-7 pieces, okay? The girl was Catherine Bach, actually, American actress. She appeared in Dukes of Hazzard. Remember Dukes of Hazzard on telly 40 years ago? She's a very beautiful American actress. He gets her in a big box, he gets a laser beam, a bit like Goldfinger. Remember Goldfinger, James Bond Goldfinger? And he used the laser beam and cut the box in about 7 pieces. And then the box is pulled apart, and suddenly, you know, it's turned upside down, and you see the girl's head and her legs actually together, seriously. They take all the box apart, basically. And her head and legs are together. It's really weird, seriously. Head's there, legs are there, and it's really weird. Check this out, it's really weird, seriously. Now, I don't actually know how this is done. I don't know how this actually works. It's a very clever trick, isn't it? Even now, 40 years later, I don't actually know how this trick is done. Is it mirrors? Is it a fake head? I think it's a real head, isn't it? Is it prosthetics or fake limbs? I don't know. I think the legs are fake, obviously, but the actual face is real. The body upside down, it looks real, doesn't it? Could it be fake? Could it be prosthetics? I don't know. Remember, maybe like the movie The Thing. Remember the movie The Thing with those beautiful kind of like special effects? They were real special effects prosthetics. I don't know it's still like that, but seriously, it's quite an impressive trick, isn't it? It appears that she really is upside down with nothing below her at all. And it's quite weird, isn't it? I must admit, seriously. I was quite freaked out when I saw this. And have a look at the video of this. It's really quite freaky. I think it's done particularly with a kind of mixture of trapdoor technology, that kind of stuff. And maybe they're using mirrors, I don't know. But whatever they did, it's very effective. And obviously they're using the stage, the scenery around themselves, the stage that actually achieved the illusion, okay? This is a method they didn't use years later. Back in 81, they actually used the scenery and that kind of subject to achieve the magical effect, okay? And trapdoors as well. So I presume trapdoors are quite used in this trick. But looking at it now on television, it's pretty impressive. Even now, I'm not sure how it's done. Good trick, seriously. I mean, more than that amazing illusion, probably the best thing to show, we go to another beautiful illusion, which is called the Ballerina illusion. This illusion, I studied this when I was about 13, I saw someone at 13 at school actually, and I hadn't seen magic as good as this before. Basically, if I flick through to it, he has a beautiful doll of a ballerina, and basically what he does is, he has a doll with ballerina, and he kind of has it, a little doll, a back foot kind of doll, beautiful ballerina, he sticks in a glass box, okay, and then what he does is, I'll just find it on here, what he does is, he literally kind of puts a cloth over the box and takes the cloth away, and the box is a beautiful crystal glass case, and suddenly, the little doll becomes a real ballerina, okay, she gets out of the glass box, dances the for a little bit, amazing, seriously, very beautifully done. He then puts a shawl around the girl, and then he just rubs the shawl a little bit, and very beautifully and magically, she dissolves back into the doll again. So suddenly she's back to being a doll. So it's a doll becoming a real ballerina, becoming a doll ballerina again. This is really beautiful. I haven't seen much anything like this back in the last 40 years. Copperfield's done other stuff that's good. I think the astral levitation he did in Copperfield 15, I think, was very similar, where he has the girl. Similar routine about 1993. This 1981 version of the ballerina to doll back to ballerina is very beautiful. I'd say it's probably the most beautiful bit I've ever seen in my life. Copperfield looks good. He's 24, slim, sleek, looking in a lovely suit. Dancing's really good. The presentation lighting is really good. The illusion looks very impressive. Looking at it now on television, I've got to say I am very impressed with this. This would be my top maybe 15, 20 bits of magic I've seen in my life. The vanishing and appearing kind of ballerina. So check this out. It's probably again done very well with some kind of mirror technology, but it's very clever indeed. Again, using the scenery to achieve the actual magical illusion itself. Very beautiful indeed. Check it out. Okay, moving on from that, we get to another sort of routine, another bit of a filler routine. He does a kind of routine with some kids, kind of like a typical kind of kid routine. He likes to do magic with kids, doesn't he? You know, like Michael Jackson, but he likes to doing magic with kids. You know what I mean? And basically, I cut that bit. Anyway, basically. What they do is he has a lot of kids on stage. One of the kids it's a vignette. One of the kids is being bullied basically by his little friends. Copperfield comes along and he gets his little mates and they all get into a big box and disappear from the box and they play another box somewhere else. It's kind of all the kids vanish from box and play another box. It's kind of done as an emotional vignette, a kind of kid being lonely kind of story, and eventually he makes friends with all the kids that are rejecting him. That kind of story, story of bullying, story of rejection, probably Copperfield's life itself, that kind of story, maybe biographical. But it's quite amusing, kind of very soppy kind of Hollywood kind of routine of soporific, soppy kind of material. Not the best in the show. In fact, it's quite good. The vanishing kids and they play at the box and they play into the box. It's quite good, but it's overawed a little bit with a little bit too emotional kind of stuff. It was 1981, 40 years ago. It's that kind of like slightly schmaltzy Hollywood stuff. But it's quite entertaining. Bit of filler really. We then go from there into another illusion looking on here, which is actually better, which is where he gets a rose, I think, for a girl in the audience. Another couple of actresses in the early 80s TV series. And he gets a rose, basically, and gives it to a girl, and it's quite a nice illusion actually. And he gets a ring from the girl and takes a ring, and basically the girl has the rose, he has the ring, he manages the ring in his hand like that, okay, and the girl blows the rose, so the rose petals open up like that, okay, and inside the rose by magic is the ring sitting inside the rose, beautiful red rose. Again, this is a beautiful trick again, seriously. Again, I haven't seen this done very often. This is a beautiful trick. It goes back about 100 years ago to a thing called mechanical roses. These were back, I think, probably about Victorian times, Victorian magic. This is a mechanical metal rose. It looks real rose. The girl actually just trick herself with her fingers. But it's a very beautiful trick. Again, this is all in presentation again. I don't know exactly how he gets the ring from his hand into the rose, whether there's two rings, I don't know. But the trick is very beautiful, okay? Love the rose, love the romantic aspect of the illusion. Again, Copperfield's into romance, and again, as always with girls, it's always pretty girls, romance, roses, that kind of stuff, seriously. And this trick kind of feels like that kind of bubbler stuff, doesn't it? So it's very nice indeed. The vanishing ring appearing inside the rose. A beautiful piece of mechanical magic that looks beautiful. Going back to the 19th century period of kind of those Victorian magicians like Robin Hood, those kind of magicians with that kind of mechanical kind of magic. Very good indeed. Love that one. Probably a highlight again of the show, definitely as well. Okay. Moving on from that, we're going to flick through and find next illusion. Next illusion, okay, is very good. Next illusion is kind of Frank Sinatra routine. I think it's a routine about a kind of like a sort of a routine about kind of being young, forever young based routine. Kind of an old couple come on stage, even yet again, they sit on a kind of a park bench, and they're a really older couple in the 80s, and basically the song is by Frank Sinatra, Love Is Not Just For The Young, you know what I mean, that kind of song, you know, very classic 50s Sinatra. I love Frank Sinatra, and basically they walk away, and a young couple come on, Copperfield and a girl come on and sit on the park bench in the middle of the park, and the young couple, and they're loved up romantic, you know what I mean, loved up, that kind of stuff, you know what I mean, remember being loved up when you were younger, yeah? And you basically sit on the park bench, loved up, and they put a shawl around themselves again, and the song plays beautifully, you know, love isn't just for the young, you know, and suddenly they kind of put the shawl around themselves, and the young couple become an old couple like that straight away. And it's really weird, isn't it? It's suddenly going young. Remember the movie The Cocoon? Remember that Cocoon? Remember that? When the old people become young, don't they? Young people become old. You movie Cocoon of the 80s. It's very similar to that kind of stuff, isn't it? Cocoon, you know, that kind of stuff. Young people being... love isn't just for the young, isn't it? Old people, young people having love and that kind of stuff. It's one of the beautiful illusions. Again, a lot of these illusions are vignettes based on emotional storytelling, emotional kind of movie storytelling. The magic's kind of fitted in within the context of the music and the movie telling itself, isn't it? The young and old being in love, that kind of stuff. So lovely illusion, seriously. Again, I look at it again. I can't see how it works. It looks like it's mirrors or hydraulics. I'm not sure, trapdoors. It's very good. You can see it beneath the table as well, beneath the bench as well. Appears to be nothing there, maybe it's mirrors, I don't know, but however it's done, it's a very beautiful illusion. Remember, this illusion again is more in the context of the romance of the illusion, and that's the context in which the illusion is really in, and that's why the illusion works really well. Again, it's a highlight of the show, and take it up a level again by actually having the illusion having a romantic aspect to it as well. Moving again, another quirky trick here. This is where Levitates a kid. This again, this is a few years later in a Magical China show. You have a little kid in the audience. Kid's sat cross-legged. It's kind of goofy American kid kind of trick. He puts his hand on the kid's head, and the kid floats and with his hand again. Quite a good trick, seriously. It's done with a harness. Little kid's about maybe about 6, 7 years old. Kid floats Copperfield's hand again. It's quite a goofy magic trick. Quite good indeed. Not the highlight of the show, but kind of good bit of magic, seriously. The levitating kid on the hand, okay? And it's done very well actually, but not an astounding bit of magic. I do quite like it looking at it quite now. It is quite effective, the kid floating on Copperfield's hand in the middle of the audience, okay? And then of course, the penultimate of the show actually is that the card trick, this card trick with an orangutan actually. Now back in the 81, is that orangutan I think called CJ. And the orangutan actually is a big orangutan. It's about this big. He's huge actually from circus part of America. In 81, these kind of tricks and stuff with animals was okay. I think nowadays, circus tricks isn't so big nowadays, is it? You know what I mean? These kind of performing animals. In 81, performing animals were kind of pretty normal actually in those days in television in America, Britain, Europe. And this is a common routine of orangutan. They're very amusing indeed. The orangutan makes kind of raspberry noises, you know, with its mouth. It's quite amusing really. And he does a big card, and the big card appears up on a big screen. And the card, I think it's the yen of diamonds. It comes to 4 diamonds because the pips in the card move. It's not a magic trick. Years ago, the kind of pip on the cards move, kind of magic trick. Good trick, seriously. Again, I like the trick. It's an oldie from a goldie magic, the actual trick itself. It's quite a funny routine. The amusement really is with the orangutan and with him making silly noises. That's the kind of gag in the routine. It's quite a funny routine, a bit of filler really. And again, I think the guy, Joe Cates, the producer, was trying to do many different ideas, some heavy stuff, romantic stuff, to kind of comedy stuff later on. And often later on in the show, after you had the heavy stuff, you had the comedy stuff later on. So this is the comedy bit. And then of course after this we get to the illusion that you want to hear about, don't you, again? The illusion that actually broke the boundaries of magic back in 1981, 82, and it was shown around the world. In fact, this illusion was so big, BBC in England showed it 5 times. They showed it once one night. It got 3 viewers actually, this magic illusion. That everyone watched it again. Everyone wrote in the BBC in England to see it again. Seriously, they got so many letters saying, "I want to see this illusion again." Seriously, how's it done? The illusion was Vanishing Airplane. Vanishing Airplane caused a real stir. I remember at school and college when I was younger, everyone was talking about this illusion. Seriously, this illusion is mind blowing. This illusion is the best illusion I've ever seen in my life. The Vanishing Airplane. In fact, the airplane itself, looking at it now on television, the airplane itself wasn't very big. It was actually a Lear Jet, which is actually a small kind of airplane. So it wasn't a jumbo jet, it was a Lear Jet. It's about the size maybe of about 3 or 4 kind of cars basically. So it was pretty big, but it wasn't as big as all that, okay, but it was pretty big. He has a asphalt runway basically, at night time, put screens around it, basically people are holding hands circling right around the plane as well, holding hands, blindfolds on as well so they can't see it. And Copperfield puts the old screens around the whole thing and shines a light from behind. Okay, so you can see the people, surrounding the airplane and the silhouette of the airplane through the screen at the front. Okay, so the airplane silhouette is there. He then pulls the lever. Okay, puts the lever, lights go off, the lever goes on again, the lights go on again, and suddenly the silhouette's gone from the screen. The screens all drop. The airplane's completely gone. Completely nonsensical here. People are still there in the ring, holding hands. The screens all drop around the place, of course. You might have seen my television stuff years ago. And the airplane is gone completely. Okay, you look behind, you look side, front, there's no airplane at all. There's no trapdoors, there's no mirrors, there's no smoke, there's no threads, there's no ropes, there's no cranes. This is a real airplane. People look real, the screens are real, the airplane's completely gone. Amazing stuff, seriously. This is mind blowing. This actually technically is more impressive than Statue of Liberty in some ways. Statue of Liberty, the only problem with Statue of Liberty illusion from 1983 is a bit of a lack of depth in a way. In some ways, Statue of Liberty looks like it's gone. It's not totally convincing in some ways, okay, even though there's aerial shots. But this illusion, you could really see the depth, couldn't you? You could see, you know, way back, couldn't you, behind the people. And you can see yourself with your own eyes, the airplane really wasn't there. This illusion was expensive. This illusion took a lot to do. Copperfield apparently did the illusion, tried a few times, failed to do it. In the end, managed to catch it on tape in the end, get it in the can, as they say, get the illusion done. Okay, how is the illusion done? You know, it's good trick. Is the airplane moved? Okay, I don't know. Is the trapdoor? There's not a trapdoor. Is it moved up? It's not moved up. Okay. Is the people in the crowd real? I don't know. The actual secret illusion, I think, is on YouTube again. So you can Google it. Have a look on YouTube again. Secret illusion is on YouTube somewhere. So if you want to look how the illusion's done, have a look on YouTube, okay, and see, because there are solutions to how the illusion is done. I'm not going to say exactly how it's done. Is the other people real? Are people fake around a plane? I don't know. It's interesting, isn't it? Seriously. Whatever it is, a lot of people in the audience crowd were real. Copperfield was a little bit criticised for not having a real audience at the time in front of the Vanishing Airplane, and so he was criticised for that. Obviously, later on, okay, when he did the Vanishing Statue of Liberty a couple of years later, he decided he would actually have an audience on Liberty Island look at the Statue of Liberty. It pretty much real, okay, but of course there were no real journalists or VIPs sat opposite the airplane seeing it being vanished. So in a way, it's kind of weird, but as I say, it's a genuine illusion. Okay, the airplane genuinely vanishes. There really was no camera tricks at all. It was a really amazing illusion performed 1981. What a groundbreaking trick, seriously. This is one of the great tricks of all time, along with Vanishing Statue of Liberty, the Great Wall of China, and many great illusions have been done, okay, like the Floating Light Bulb by Harry Blackstone, and other illusions I've seen over the years. This is a great illusion, one of the best illusions of all time, without doubt, okay. The Vanishing Airplane from 1981. Okay, Copperfield's fourth show, isn't it? 1981. What a magic show it is, seriously. The whole show is really, really good, actually. Looking at now, they stated it's 40 years late, 40 years ago. We've had many stuff since that. We had the Vanishing Orient Express carriage, we've had Flying Dream, we've had Walking Through the Great Wall of China, we've had many illusion shows since then, of course, haven't we? We've had David Blaine and Dynamo, and many people walking the River Thames in London. Many great illusions, okay, but this is always a great illusion, okay. And I remember the magician Doug Henning at the time, big magician, was a big American magician, was big at the time. He also was doing the Vanishing Motorcycle, but that was never as big as this illusion, was it? The Vanishing Airplane. There you are. Hope you enjoyed that. Okay, if you want to know the secret, is on YouTube. If you want to Google it, find the secret of Vanishing Airplane. I think it is on YouTube, and it is the secret of how the airplane disappeared, seriously. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Okay, remember to like and subscribe, and please like and subscribe. Please do to the channel as well for more stuff as well from me. Please subscribe, please hit the subscription, help me out, please do. And click links below for more magic with me as well, more videos. I made 60 videos or so of magic illusion, chat and videos and magic for you, okay? So please check them out and give me some support, please do, okay? Look after yourselves during the pandemic 2021. Please look after yourselves, okay? I'll be very well indeed. And the illusion show, as I say, you want to check out this illusion show. The Ballerina's great, the girl cut many pieces is really great. As I say, also you've got this superb, a bit where the kids disappear in a box, the bit where the rose opens up. You've got also the bit with orangutan. You've got the old people becoming young people again, young people becoming old people, that beautiful park bench illusion. Vanishing Airplane, a great magic show. Check it out, okay? And look after yourselves, okay? And like and subscribe. See you again very soon for some more magic chat and illusion. See you later on.